Alright, so it's like 3:30 in the morning. I just got done marathoning the first season. There's a cat right here. Excuse me. I there she is. Her name's Slayer. Hi, everybody. Say hi to the internet, Slayer. No, she's off screen, fucking around. Okay. Anyway, it's like 3:30 in the morning here. I look fucking crazy in this light, but I just got. Oh, there's the cat again. Shit. She has no concern for film criticism of any kind. I just got done watching. I did a whole giant marathon of the first season of True Detective. And let me tell you, it was awesome. Like, I know it came out a while ago, but a lot of people haven't seen it, you know what I mean? Or, like, some people haven't seen it, and it's fucking worth it, man. True Detective is it's a weird show indeed. It's very spooky. Yeah, so like months ago, like my friend got me turned on to this, right? Like my buddy, we're doing like a film degree together, you know, we're like in the same classes and stuff like that, and like I'm into some kind of weird shit, you know what I mean? Like, well, like philosophically. So, you know, I was talking to him about it, and he's like, "Fuck, man, have you ever seen True Detective? Because there's a guy on it who, you know, says similar shit to what you're talking about." You know, and I'm like, "No, man," you know, and went back and forth with it, and I, for some reason, I hadn't watched it till now, like 3 months after I got done with that. But yeah, it's very cool. It's like, for those of you who have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It's like super weird. It's like kind of, I don't know, like Southern Gothic almost, but it happens in like 1995, or it starts out in 1995, and it's all like flashbacks from like an interview with some fucking like people like talking about like this weird murder case with a whole bunch of shit, and there's this guy, you know, like there's these two detectives, and there's like one of them who's all like into like weird philosophy and stuff like that, and he started talking about like stuff you find in like Gnostic like scriptures, like the universe like creating a part of itself that can envision itself, and like so it can experience itself, and it all gets fucked up, and then this other guy who's played by Woody Harrelson, the philosophical dude's played by why can't I remember his fucking name? Man, he's shirtless in every one of his movies. Super southern. Fuck, man. It's a bit late for me. What is your name? Other guy from True Detective. It's Woody Harrelson. And shirtless ass. Oh, fuck. I'm completely blanking on this. What does that do? Who is that dude? He was in Contact. He was in. He's been in a lot of like space movies, and he gets shirtless a lot. Oh man, Matthew McConaughey, right? Shit. Yeah, he's like the philosophical spooky detective, and like he was like undercover and shit like that, and he got his brain all fucked up by chemicals. And Woody Harrelson's like the other like more pragmatic like detective, and like he just somehow he just bangs like really hot girls like all throughout the series, even though it's like Woody Harrelson. Like, I've never found that guy hot. McConaughey, however, is pretty hot, but not in this show. If you're looking for hot McConaughey, you're looking in the wrong place, because he goes all the way with changes in physicality for the role, and I'm sure like he did some makeup too, but he looks real bad throughout the whole thing. He's very skinny and like dark circles under the eyes, and like at the end he looks like just some like gross biker guy, and then he gets shot, and it's weird. Or stabbed, actually, by the last dude. Anyway, man, True Detective is awesome, and you should check it out. It's yeah, it's very like, it's reminiscent of like other kind of shit. Like, it kind of reminded me of Millennium, like the X-Files spinoff. if anybody's ever seen that, it's very weird. Like just camera work wise, it goes crazy. Like a lot of the time, it's, people they kind of issue the static establishing shot for a lot of scenes with like a giant like pan of like just like these weird, gross like southern landscapes, like just like swamps and like industrial areas and stuff like that. And, yeah, like mise en scène wise, it's just like they go all the way with making it like just really feel like really bad. Like there's like a few like respites to the just the kind of gross vibe that permeates the entire show. Like, for example, whenever Woody Harrelson's hanging out with his family, it's all pretty laid back and normal. Or like when he's hanging out with like a random girl, because like his character like cheats on his wife a whole bunch. But like all that shit's pretty normal. But then they express like the weird aspects of the like of the show. It's just like filmically, you know what I mean? Because like not a whole lot of weird shit actually happens, even though it's like there's like a murder mystery involving like Satanists and like child molesters and shit like that. But like not a whole lot of stuff like actually goes down, But like they really express like the whole like just oppressive like feel of like the show throughout, with like the soundtrack, very spooky shit. It's like kind of like weird like twangy southern like bluesy kind of like folky music, but like it's kind of hard to explain. The soundtrack is fucking awesome though, and it really like sets the mood for the whole like gross feel of the show. And then like when they're doing stuff, when they're doing the crime stuff and they're looking around at things, they the like the camera work and the like the lighting and the locations and the soundtrack really express the feel of just like this kind of gross like nasty like southern like deal that's going on. It's like I keep saying southern, but like that's kind of like the feel to it, because it definitely happens like in Louisiana from 1995 till the present, and kind of like every era of the show is framed around like a different hurricane or flood that happened at the time, which is weird. Yeah, it's a good show though. The weird thing about it is, and I'm not sure if I liked this or I didn't. I kind of did like it, but like the killer has this whole thing where like people call him the Yellow King and stuff, and there's this they talk about like this place called Carcosa, and it's all super weird and shit. But that's all references to a book of short stories, and like that have to do with like this play called The King in Yellow. It was written by a guy named William Chambers in like 1895, which is weird when you think about it, because that's like 1995 and 1895. The show takes place in like the earlier parts of the show take place in 1995, and the later in the book with the stories about the King in Yellow come out in 1895. That's kind of cool. I never thought about that until now. So like whoever wrote and directed this, I didn't really look into it too much because I just kind of jumped in based on a recommendation. They must have been like a big fan of this shit, man. This like Chambers, this whole works and everything. But yeah, it's like it takes place in a kind of like in a universe where everything's the same, but that book didn't come out because there's obvious like allusions to that book, and like these guys are super detectives, and this dude's like McConaughey's character is like super intellectual and shit, and he reads all the time. So you think he'd at least be like familiar with the, the context in which this guy's calling himself the Yellow King, and talking about like Carcosa and all that weird shit. But yeah, that's like the only thing that's different from that continuity is like nobody knows about that book. Honestly, the only reason I know about that book is it's like a weird part of the Cthulhu mythos for some reason. Like, even though it was written like a whole bunch of years before H.P. Lovecraft's stuff came out, he was like really influenced by it. And it's like a pivotal work of like weird fiction, like in the American canon. So like it gets kind of lumped in with his shit, And I've read like stuff about it, but I've never actually like delved like into the actual work itself. I should probably get to that, honestly, before I start doing criticism based on it. I'm not though. We're good. Anyway, yeah. True Detective Season 1. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend it. But, I wouldn't marathon it, though. It's because now I feel just gross. You know what I mean? I feel weird and gross. And I think that's why. It's just because that's all I've been watching all day. Today I watched The Black Belly of the Tarantula, which is an awesome movie, and I'll probably talk about that in, like, a subsequent video. And then I just jumped right into True Detective, and I started picking, like marathoning that. Now I feel like shit because like the whole vibe of the show, it's just super bad vibey and weird. But yeah, I highly recommend it though. If you want to feel gross and just be like intrigued by a show, that's the way to go. Also. No, that's actually pretty much it. So, nice.